Hello, everybody. It's Taylor Roth here. Just checking in from Montreal and testing this microphone. So bear with me if it gets a little bit weird. Um, how is everybody? How's everybody doing out there on planet Earth? I'm borrowing Vincent, our my wife's son's hat we got from Team Light. I love it. This is my first time actually trying it on. He's used it since the day we got it for him. Get my shirt, and I'm ready to roll. So this is a microphone that's being lent to me by a friend. It was actually lent to Pam, but she couldn't get it working last night for karaoke, and I got it working this morning. So I did my 3D to 5D transition call with it earlier, and bear with me. I'm like having to lean over to reach it on the stand. So maybe we'll pull it off here and move that off to the side. How's that, everybody? Can everybody hear me in the room? All right. So this last weekend, Pam and I had the pleasure of hosting or assisting in hosting Cryon, who is channeled by none other than Lee Carroll. We had him in Montreal this last weekend, and it was such a pleasure. I was in charge of registration and taking payment for unpaid registrants and at the door registrations. And then Pam was over the books. So it's funny, Sonia, our friend and the host, she mentioned it was interesting that both me and my wife were the ones handling all of the money for her side of things anyway. And I got a shout out from the Cryon team for a great job, well done. And I look forward to working with them on future events as well. So there's been some interesting changes going on the planet lately, and maybe I'll talk a little bit about some of those today. If you're just joining us, I'm testing a new microphone. I hope to get one of these high quality microphones for some of my productions pretty soon here. This one's being lent to me by a friend, and thank you so much. Big shout out to Mariv for supplying the microphone. So if you're tuning in just now, just write me a quick comment. Let me know you're here, and yeah, I'd love to hear who's participating in this broadcast today. So I've got a number of projects on my plate right now, and the reason I'm so stoked for this new microphone, like I did this broadcast just because there's a microphone, and I used it earlier today. It's got a feedback loop that pairs with these studio monitors. And so I'm actually hearing my voice as I'm talking to you, but not in like a disjointed way, but actually in an effective manner. So if I seem a little bit excited, it's because I'm an audiophile and I love listening to sounds, which it's a good thing because I hear the sound of my own voice probably more often than everybody else might enjoy sometimes. But, I believe that if you can't entertain yourself, then who can you entertain? So the projects that I've been working on lately, I've got my 3D to 5D transition calls, which I host every Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can find information on that on my website, jadelightweaver.wordpress.com. One of those things that's going to be upgraded this year is transitioning eventually over to 13th-harmonic.com. Going to acquire that one. And unless somebody buys it, who's listening to the broadcast right now? Somebody gonna go yoink that? No. Anyway. The thing I'm learning more and more about life is that you just can't take yourself too seriously because getting stressed out just isn't a very fun experience, and it stifles the creativity. And the creativity is absolutely what is here to be played with and cultivated in all of our projects, all of our endeavors, all of what we produce as human beings. Like this, for me, I'm just a guy with a microphone right now, enjoying myself. And I would also enjoy anybody who's participating, talking to me now. And, you know, it's weird. I pick up on stuff, and as I said, there's a lot of change happening on the planet right now. So maybe this is just a little distracting moment. Hopefully, more entertaining than a cat video. I'm working on my humor because I'm growing, and so my other project that I'm working on, back to the focused version of me, the other project is called 13th Harmonic. And for those of you who don't know, you can just go to Google or YouTube and Google. Is that how that works? Go to YouTube and use the search button for 13th Harmonic. Or you can look for Lightweaver 29. That is me. And I'll put links up here in the video as well so you can find my content. I've got a Facebook page as well. 13th Harmonic I've labeled as a multidimensional broadcast hosted by none other than yours truly, Taylor Roth. And what I mean by that multidimensional is that it takes my perspective, it takes your perspective as the audience, it takes the perspective of whatever guest I have on, and we combine those and blend those together, and then we transcend that, and then we transcend that, and then we transcend that. You get the idea. We take spirituality to a practical level where a lot of what you may have heard about law of attraction or uh, Kabbalah or hermeticism is the correct term for that. Got to get your terms right. And so there's so many different fields of esoteric knowledge. And the thing is, every single field of human endeavor is linked to every other field. There's no such thing as a true isolated system. So when you look at DNA from the eyes of a linguist, you get a totally different experience than looking at it from the eyes of a chemist. And so take what's going on in your life and look at it in a different way. Talk to people you don't normally talk to. Interact with things you don't normally interact with. And allow yourself to feel what it is to be alive as a human being, to be here on planet Earth, to be a conduit of the light of source, the light of creation, whatever vernacular term you wish to use for that which is divine, which is all things, which is found in all things. There is no thing in creation that is disconnected from the divine. There's only the perception that some people have that things are disconnected from the divine. All things are connected because the divine is what creates all things. So the 13th harmonic is like my magnum opus, maybe? I don't know. For right now, in this phase of life, it doesn't feel like it can get any better than what I'm already doing. Like it can get better, obviously, but I'm happy with what I'm doing. I'm happy with what I'm creating. I could use a little bit less time in post production, though, and that's where this baby comes in. That's where high quality recording equipment comes in because that helps to capture the voice in a way that doesn't require a bunch of post-production removing, clicks and burp, 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 and breathing. It's just to be able to get rid of all that stuff, kind of filter it as the content is being generated, then create such a more streamlined back end so that more time can be spent actually polishing the product. And it's not a matter of time, but the polish on a product that's already high quality just makes it even better. Whereas, polishing boots that are really scuffed up and everything like that, there's only so much you can do for something that's old and beat up. Sometimes you got to build something new. And sometimes when you build that new thing, it's best to filter what is coming into your creation. That's why so many artists are kind of recluses. They're a little bit stay out of the way of the average person because they cultivate this essence of creation, and sometimes interacting with everybody else kind of kills your vibe. I'm not saying it has to be like that. I'm saying that's what I have experienced up until now. And as I'm stepping out of my former self and stepping into my highest self, you're going to see some difference in how I present myself on this planet. It's funny because I'm talking with my left hand on the microphone. Let's change to the right hand. So, now that we've got the distraction kind of out of the way, let's get real about what's going on planet Earth. How do we sum this up in the most concise, clear manner possible? Everything is interconnected to everything else. This is going to become more and more apparent to the people probably in IT first. People who have studied metaphysics already understand some of this, but we're about to enter a new realm, a new domain of human exploration, and that involves the combining of the digital with the physical. As we do this, it's important to understand what matters to the heart of being a human. When systems can be created in moments that create scenarios that maybe take thousands of years to resolve, it's important to have heart in everything that you are creating. It's important to be fully connected and aware of who you are in your most evolved version, your divine version, that which is connected to the source code, the root level of creation. Apologies, my nose was itching. So, something we experimented with in the Monday class that Pam and I attended with Marilyn Harper and Joy. Marilyn is known for channeling Adironda, a lovely being that works with Cryon often. The class was Learn to Channel Even If You Think You Can't. And I've known for some time now that there are moments where I become more conscious and aware of my channeling state, where the hemispheres of my brain synchronize with my soul and my heart, gains coherence. There are some who may think that I'm just some guy with a microphone right now wearing Team Light hat and, you know, who am I to be giving you instruction? Who am I to think that I can lead? And for those of you who think such things, what I say to you is I can do it because I know you can, because I know we can, because there is nothing in creation that cannot be for those who will it to be. The first step to channeling is to recognize that it's already happening. The second step is to relax into that. This is the phase of what could be known as relaxing the filter. There's a perception of what words are going to be used. When someone tunes in to this and connects to this transmission, you may have a preconceived notion of who I am, but I assure you your preconceived notion falls substantially short of who I am. And it's very possible that you have limited definitions of yourself as well. Allow yourself to begin to relax. I'm going to lead you through an exercise in order to recognize and honor the guidance that is already coming through your voice. Thank you very much for taking time to tune in today, for focusing your awareness into this particular point of space and time, recognizing that wisdom can be found in each moment of space and time, that self is perpetually contained within self, within all things, are all things, and going slowly enough to relay that which speaks to the present moment of awareness, that which speaks to the consciousness within you, allowing yourself to really drop in to that space of knowing, feeling confident in self, feeling synchronized with the rest of the human race, feeling abundant, prosperous, feeling like everything is going your way, because it is more than you recognize. Things aren't going your way. I'm glad that I'm recording this because sometimes when I step into this state, it cannot be stepped into with any preconceived notion as to what is going to come through. It's like jumping into the void. And I hope that you will jump with me into that space of exploration, into that space of wisdom, your cells awakening, your concept of self rewriting, renewing, rejuvenating. Tapping into your divine inheritance, that which has always been yours, but perhaps has not been fully acknowledged. There's been a deep unwillingness to receive the gift of yourself, and that's okay. Acknowledge your presence in and throughout all aspects of creation. Honoring and witnessing the divine within you, within your neighbors, within the blades of grass upon your lawn. The divine is everywhere and everything and beyond all things, beyond all labels, and so are you. Calling in the presence of your highest self more fully into your experiential awareness, requesting divine aid and assistance in this, requesting assistance from those who have come before, those who are more skilled or have the experience of walking through this particular path, this particular hurdle of integrating and synchronizing your voice with the avatar form in and through your source of self. Bringing into greater focus the bliss, joy, and abundance already present in and throughout your life. Not just in this moment, but in all the moments that have happened, that may happen, and that will happen. Sometimes the voice stops, and that's because there is still this hesitation at times to share a message. And there's also the recognition that sometimes when one most wants to share, that's the time to find silence. That's the time to truly be at peace and hear that voice within that has that desire to share. And to be so quiet, so still, so silent, that the voice itself begins to express, because all other sounds have found stillness. What has most been needed, not just on this planet, but in each of us, each individual being must become their own guidance. Really, it's a gradual acknowledging of self-leading self, allowing the commander within you to surface, to connect, to embody in you. a very calm sense of I am in control of myself. And because I am in control of myself, all things respond in a similar manner to me. They all resonate that back to me. All things are aware of their own capabilities, their own ability to self regulate. And as we envision stepping onto and experiencing a newer earth, a more one with increased vitality, one with greater harmony. In order to do that, there must be this willingness to allow that which has been experienced before this moment to drop away, to dissolve into your past. For your present is only related to your past in so much as you feel it must be. That is up to you. Your future is generated by who you are now. Therefore, it is always changing in as much as you are always changing. By understanding who you are, you're able to anchor in this frequency, which then creates a sympathetic resonance across the planet, across the solar system, the galaxy, the universe. Picture all the misalignment, all the disharmony that you have experienced up until this now moment. Feel whatever tension is in your body in this now moment. And envision yourself as the sun of our little solar system. And feel that confidence that you radiate light. And because of that light that radiates from you, life exists. Life more than exists. It thrives. It thrives abundantly. And just as a person can walk out on planet Earth and open their arms and feel that warmth and energy from the sun, in the same way you can feel it too. And you can be that because you are that. Seeing, honoring, witnessing that everything around you thrives just because you are you. Take a deep breath. Acknowledge that pressure that you feel on your crown, on the top of your head, the source, the pillar of light connecting to the avatar form from the heaven star, traveling through the concept of spine in the physicalization of reality, out the tailbone and down into the Earth star. You don't have to be on Earth in order to experience your connection to the Earth star. The Earth star tracks underneath you always, just as your heaven star is always above you. Whether you're laying down, sitting up, your connection is always there. Thank you for being present with yourself in this now moment. Thank you for being willing to step into a higher dimensional earth than you have experienced perhaps up until now. Recognize that whatever mission has been driving you up until this point, what will it look like? What will it feel like when you're on that earth of harmony and balance? What will it feel like when there's no longer this perception carried from the residue of one's past regarding the inability or inevitability of certain outcomes for Earth? Letting go of any preconceived notion that Earth is moving in anything less than its optimal direction, and you upon it. Connecting with the deep awareness that in this space, all are already with you on that earth. All are already anchored into that space. There's no one to teach, per se. There's only creation expressing through self, and joyfully so. For there truly is nothing to do in the universe except what one desires to do. And that may sound like I don't believe it yet, but more and more so each day I do. Because each day I practice listening to myself and expressing as myself. And truly, the universe does seem infinite by its very nature. Therefore, there are certain things which doesn't make any logical sense to continue to participate in certain realities beyond what's absolutely necessary. The point is not necessarily to uh, just ignore everything, but it's about tuning the radio within you to a more harmonious channel, to programming that you enjoy more than what you currently have been enjoying. And it's not about bypassing anything, it's about integrating into the now moment, truly allowing the now moment to be filled with the possibilities. That residual need to say that, people are this, people are that, the earth is this, the earth is that. That's all based upon your past interactions, your past history. And there comes a point where you really can't take that much further than you already have. I mean, you can keep taking it as far as you'd like to take it, but that doesn't mean that there are not other channels on the radio. Hmm. So how is everybody? Are we there yet? Did we make it? I heard Stargate's going off. Uh, hey, I got 2 Roths on this broadcast so far. Great. I like my family to come along with me. You know, since we're all part of one big tree, might as well be a tree of life. Well, you guys got to experience what it was like to be with me as I did the best I could to enter the channeling state and bring through something that's both timely and relevant and practical to your current life. I'm here to support the ascension of planet Earth and its people to the point where it's heaven on earth. And yes, I have conceptions of what utopia is, and it's absolutely possible to experience. Absolutely. Whatever your notions of regarding what's possible for this planet, I invite you to explore with me, to explore with those around you, to truly connect into what is possible, to connect with each other. I'm available for sessions. You can find me at jadelightweaver.wordpress.com. Currently, I have the XP boost and the Mega XP boost. And for those of you who have those, that desire to truly take your manifestation, to truly be of service to this planet in a way that totally honors who you are and what you have to bring, then let's connect. Let's really connect and get this ball rolling, because it's possible. And the only thing that slows it down is people who feel it's not possible. But that's just a personal experience, because I'm going forward as fast as I can in each moment while fully enjoying the moment. And I can assist you with tapping into that for yourself as well. And as you learn this, relearn this skill, remember this skill that is already within you, you will act like the sun from wherever you are on this planet or beyond, and create this massive grid of light in which all things are loved, all things are nurtured, all things are harmonic with each other, growing as a family of light, a family of love. Welcome to planet Earth. Enjoy yourself and honor and respect your brother and sister, your mother and father, your sons and daughters, your elders and your descendants. Do your best every day, for no better reason than that you respect yourself enough to give your best, to show up for yourself. That is the key to success. That is the key to having complete coherence with yourself and with everything around you. And when one is in coherence, that's when miracles happen. That's when things move that almost seem impossible. So thank you so much for being with me for this. I call it a brief broadcast because for me, I do this stuff all the time, but for you, maybe it was a little bit long. But there's a lot here on many layers for you. Allow it to serve you. Allow me to serve you. For you are a part of me, and I am a part of you, and I honor the divinity within you as I honor the divinity within me and within all things. Namaste, dear soul family.